Hey, what's going on YouTube? It's Nikki the Bombshell Biker. How's everybody doing today? Let's go for a little ride through San Bernardino today, or as the beard often refers to it, San Bernardino. Because let's just be honest, that's what it is. So today I want to talk to you guys about Ladyproblems. Motorcycle Momma made a video, hashtag Ladyproblems, and what I loved most about it was that it wasn't, how do I keep my hair from getting messed up under the helmet? How do I make sure that I can shift in my new heeled boots? It was nothing like that. It was more along the lines of the choices that we as women make and where they lead us in our life. Oh, and she's talking to herself too. But I don't think she's doing it for YouTube. Anyways. So when she talked about the choices that she'd made, she had talked about how she originally wanted to travel and wanted to see the world and all that kind of fun stuff. But now she is a mom with 2 beautiful daughters, and she is a very happy wife. And, that's a lot different than she had originally expected. And she talked about how it's hard for a woman to travel in the world and how it's hard for a lot of men to travel in the world as well. And so today I just wanted to talk about, I guess, some of my original plans and how life has changed them. I really, really, really wanted to go to college and become a world-renowned singer. I had it all lined up to go to a college in Chicago. And these rows are garbage. And I ended up making the choice to stay here in California. And as per the usual story, all because a boy, I was dating this guy. He was in the Marine Corps, and we didn't know where the world was going to take us. So I didn't want to, be away at college and miss out on anything and any of his life choices. And what if we had to move? Needless to say, that boy and I are not together. We have not been together for a very, very long time. He turned out to be much different as we got older, not for the better, which happens sometimes. And so that led me to my husband. And I, like the beard, have been married and divorced. Not a bad thing. Sometimes it happens, but, it happens. I have no regrets about it. I married my very best friend. It just didn't work out. We were friends that shouldn't have gotten married. And we knew that. And so then we made the choice to not be husband and wife anymore, to just be friends. And he was still my very best friend up until the day we lost him. And now I am with the beard. And being with him has actually been really awesome because I get to do a lot of things I never would have thought possible. And I started riding when I was younger, and I kind of fell out of it. I got really nervous, and, not having 4 doors and seatbelts and windshields and all of those things was very intimidating to me. Oh, we're going through this. And so I didn't. I let my own fear get in the way, and I didn't ride anymore. And that was my choice. I talked about it in the first video. I was a support driver for a long time. Not a bad thing. I really enjoyed it. I got to go do all the same stuff. I got to go on the same rides and do that kind of stuff. And it was awesome. I had a great time. But getting older, I wanted to be back on the bike. And especially when the beard got the bobber. How could I sit on the sidelines and not do it? Like, come on. He was having way too much fun. I wanted to have way too much fun. So here we are. Now I'm fogging up my helmet real quick here. Oh, there we go. And so let's see. Other than that, the reason I got back on the bike was because I wanted to have some freedom. I had a pretty rough year last year. My mom passed. Well, she passed at the beginning of this year. But last year she was diagnosed with cancer. And unfortunately, she did not win her battle with cancer. But my mom was always very fearless, and she always encouraged my sister and I to be fierce, independent, fearless women. And so when she passed, I needed to do something where I felt just as fearless as my mom was. And, she'd tell you she had a great life. She was a wonderful lady. Look at that beautiful sun over there. Speaking of mom, look at her. But I really wanted to do something fearless too. And I mentioned in my first video, my mom was a really happy passenger, and there was nothing wrong with that. Like I said, she got some of the most amazing pictures on the back of a motorcycle. And she had a blast with my dad. They went all over the country. They outran tornadoes, you know, all kinds of crazy stuff, but they had such a good time. And for me, I'm really glad with the way life has gone, you know. Do I wish some things could change? Absolutely. Do I wish my mom was here so I could talk to her every day still? Absolutely. But with that being said, she is with me every day. I do talk to her every day. She's just not as chatty in return now. But again, that's okay too. And so life has taken me in some pretty crazy ways. Not bad in either way, just different than I ever planned, you know. I was planning on being a military wife and traveling every 3 years and moving wherever the Corps took us. And though I think I would have fit into that life had that been the path that ended up going, it wouldn't have been a bad path. My aunt did it for a very long time. Nothing wrong with it. But for me, I'm really glad now that I live, you know, 45 minutes from my dad and my sister, and 15 minutes from my grandma, and 20 minutes from my nana. I have my whole family right here. And for me, knowing what I know now, especially, I like having them around. I like being so close to them. And though life has taken me a much different path than I had planned for myself, one of my favorite quotes will always be, if you want to hear God laugh, tell him your plans, because it's so true. We can't plan anything. We can't ever assume we know it all, because let me tell you, we don't know jack. We try our hardest. We try to plan, but you know what? Sometimes he's got a bigger plan for us, and that's okay too. Oh, there's Pop. 35 speed limit, so let's not speed on the bike because I don't want to get a ticket right now. But yeah, I was like, other than that, I can't express how happy I am. It's been a rough year, but with that being said, I've also never been happier in my adult life, which is pretty great to say. Again, miss my mom every day, but she's still with me. I take her with me everywhere I go. Any new adventure I go on, she's there. She doesn't miss anything. And so my hashtag Ladyproblems are not that bad. You know, I have gone a different path than I ever thought for myself. No one ever thought I'd be all tattooed and pierced and all that fun stuff either. I was always, you know, a big old cry about stuff. And I still am a big old cry for piercings. Like, if you ever talk to the beard in person about, like, what it's like to pierce me, I'm pretty sure he hates it because I'm a big old baby. My brother works with him. He has to hold my hand. All bad. All bad. I can't sit there. I can get tattooed all day. You know, I'm super tattooed and that doesn't bother me at all. To get pierced, someone's got to hold my hand. I got to breathe. I can't look. When I hang out with the beard at the shop, I can't look while he does piercings. I get super nauseous. I'm a big old cry about it. But yeah, I was like, life's taken me a lot different course than I ever had planned for myself. But let me tell you, it's been a pretty great ride. And I'm really glad that I get to continue on this ride. I get to take you guys with me. And the nice thing that this year has taught me is I don't know what's coming. And that's weird to say nice, but it's, you know, it's been an adventure. I thoroughly enjoyed learning so much about myself this last year. And some days suck. Some days are a nightmare for anyone, whether you've lost someone or not. Some days just suck. Sometimes your job is hard. Sometimes you don't want to get up and go to work every day. But I'm super grateful I've got a job to go to every day. And I'm really glad that my life has gone this way. You know, the beard and I joke that it would have been nice for us to have met each other earlier. And we did meet each other about 5 years ago. We've known each other for a really long time. We weren't, you know, together. But had that been the case, we don't think our relationship would be what it is today. We learned a lot in our divorces. We learned a lot in our years before we found each other. And I think for that, it's given us a better, stronger relationship, and getting to ride by his side or ride behind him is a path I never would have known would fulfill me as much as it has. So I'm really grateful for those little changes. I'm really grateful for God laughing at my plans and putting the road I'm on ahead of me. Do I know where the turns are going to take me? No. Do I want to know? Not really. I want to see it happen as it happens. I'm not one of those people that wants to look into the future. That's too much knowledge. It's too much pressure. I like the mystery of it. That keeps it fun. That makes it an adventure, you know? And so for that, I'm grateful. I'm grateful for my lady problems. I'm grateful for the life that has laid out before me. All right, guys. Well, I am almost to the shop, so I'm going to wrap it up here. I just want to remind everybody, stay safe, stay sassy, avoid people like are in front of me. Dear Lord. I'm gonna give him some room. Sorry, dude behind me. Not trying to eat that exhaust there.